Donald Trump's chances of winning the election have skyrocketed because of Joe Biden's dismal performance during the debate. He really did sound like an old man who could not handle what was really happening because it was too much for him. And that's very sad for me to say because I don't think Trump is a better choice. For those of you who may not know, I am not Donald Trump's biggest fan. I just care about what can actually work and what can produce the best results. Now, I think Biden, in his right mind, is much more competent than Donald Trump. But if we are seeing signs of cognitive decline at this extent, who is to say that something like this won't occur if something truly bad does happen within this country? And what if for a few days Joe Biden is having too much of a senior moment where he cannot be relied upon to competently make the necessary decisions in the best interests of this country? I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me from both sides of the political aisle that we have been spoon-fed these two candidates which should never have been in the running in the first place. The Democratic Party has failed considerably, one with Ruth Bader Ginsburg not retiring when Barack Obama suggested that she should have, and because of her ego and ignorance, we lost her seat, and so much progress that has happened over the past 60 years has been reversed. Nancy Pelosi, whose political corruption rivals that of Donald Trump, should never have been in power for as long as she did. She should not have been allowed to mar the Democratic Party by saying what she did towards insider trading. Anyone with a dose of common sense is well aware of the many failures of the GOP, and the Democrats were supposed to be the party of common sense, and they completely abandoned that role. Another major failure of the Democratic Party was the DNC turning against Bernie Sanders when he was going to be the clear contender against Hillary Clinton. Him losing in such a blatantly unfair way secured the election of Donald Trump. And the fact that the Democratic Party could not bring about candidates that had a better chance of winning than Joe Biden, someone who is approaching such an old age, is quite indicative of the incompetence and lack of unity necessary for the Democratic Party to actually do anything meaningful. And here we are, where the most likely candidate to succeed in this election is a convicted felon who has made many incestuous remarks towards his own children, who has also started a failed insurrection. Newscasters, even Megyn Kelly, said he tried, but he failed, and that's why she's deciding to give him another chance. That is the incompetence of the mentality of the American people right now, that they are openly willing to admit his attempt at overturning a lawful election, which is something that no president has ever tried to do before. And the fact that tens of millions of Americans are okay with this, or they're willing to put on blinders and lie to themselves about this, shows how much our system is failing its people. The only way that the Biden administration can secure its second term is if they invent some new mind-performing enhancing drug and give it to Biden right before the debate. And this isn't just a one thing. The second would have to be a turnaround for the U.S. economy. If we start to reach inflation targets, like let's say maybe even 2.5 or 2.8%, and then we start to see interest rates drop, even if it's a 0.25%, that would be an extreme boon to the U.S. economy. People would say, oh, the stock market's doing very well. And if more home construction does magically start to happen, that would be another very promising sign of an economic recovery. And this is probably the most important and most easy thing for everyone to see. If refineries all of a sudden start to open back up or stop being closed for maintenance, and the price of gas comes down, that would be another shoo-in for a Biden re-election. In my opinion, one of the most important things for a Biden second term would be establishing stronger relationships with the African countries, especially the ones that have had a recent coup, like Niger, Gabon. Africa is not only incredibly resource-rich, it is also incredibly people-rich, and in my opinion, this will be the last and greatest frontier for globalization. My name is the Geo Hussar, and I wish I could have given you better news, but even though we saw what we saw yesterday, I am still hopeful. Thanks for watching.